Hey guys, welcome back. Bunch of nonsense going on. I'm actually on a lot later than I planned on. I've just had a hectic morning. There's a lot going on, and I've told before, just everyday life stuff. And we're having remodeling, reconstruction going on over here at the farmhouse. So everything's just been hectic. But I want to talk about some of the nonsense going around. And then one thing from the WHO I'll go over because I can give some insight on that. But let's talk about a couple things. Okay, so we know the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, they voted for, to seize the control of American internet, the infrastructure. It was in the name of equity, the digital discrimination type thing. So they took that. Well, we knew those type of things have been in the works for a while. So that's going to control everything. And with this video, I am going to attach a ton of links so y'all can read it more in depth, because who knows how in depth I can get on here. And also so YouTube doesn't get all bent out and I'm saying, hey, some of this is mainstream. Y'all were talking about giving it out. So there it all is for you guys and for them to hopefully keep them off of me about that. So I'm going to attach a bunch of links about that and everything else as well. So we know how that's going on. If you still have a copy of a George Orwell, I don't know, 1984 book, you may want to connect those dots. What this, goes to, that's what that is. We knew it was coming. We have the protesters, how that's been going. Who, where in the world would they have come from? I don't know. The South, that southern little area. Last night in D.C., They got out of hand. They said there was about 150 of them. I think 6 officers got hurt. They were outside of the DNC headquarters building there in DC. And it was the U.S. Capitol Police that were trying to kind of get that, in check. And some of them got hurt. So they had closed down like the House buildings. They were put under lockdown, and they had moved it kind of evacuated the lawmakers. Now, we have all those things. Is this planned? Is this one of those F flags? Is, always. Most of these things that I go over and talk about on here, that's just my opinion. They're strategically planned out, parts of their game plan, either to get to their agenda, to, cause the issues it causes down here on this level, distractions. It's just part of all of it. So that was going on, and then this morning I got up and saw that that went on last night in DC. I think it got situated around 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. I think something about that. I guess they had got it calmed down enough. Are these mostly peaceful protests, right? They had same group, not the exact same individuals, but that same group of what they're doing. They're protesting against. They were blocking a bridge over in Boston, and I believe there was some nonsense, same thing going on over in California, of course. Speaking of California, you see all that just complete, like the Red Dragon over there? You see all those flags flying? Haven't seen that before, that they just completely turn that over. Don't get me started, but they've made home here. They've set that up, and those elites, they want that to be 2.0 over here. So we know what that's about. So that stuff is going on. So there's, again, tons of links. I'll attach different things. Go so you can read more in depth yourself. I have my opinions about all of it. There is one thing I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna go, I may get a hit. I don't know. But I have links. YouTube, read it yourself, okay? Go beyond the stuff that your little trolls you have on things, and read things yourself. But the WHO came out and warned. This is their warning. Again, quotations, because I have links. I'm going to put it down there. This is what they're saying. Fear-mongering? Could it have anything to do with, I don't know, all the release they're doing of mosquitoes? I'm going to go into it. It says they warned by 2033 that dengue fever would be an epidemic. They said through the southern U.S., southern Europe. They said that it would grip those areas probably before 2030. the reason, y'all listen, of course, because the reason is because of the rising temperatures are causing these mosquitoes to travel further into these areas, and that's going to happen. So by 2030, 2033, it's going to be epidemic in America and in Southern Europe and stuff like that. But I'm sure it's definitely not from the border being wide open and things like that, for individuals that may carry things, pass it, you know, or all the things they were releasing. But don't worry, because they said that they are working on more and new genetically modified mosquitoes to try to combat this. That's so nice of them. I'm glad that that is what they're working on that for us. Not that we didn't have any of that till they started doing these things, but you know, what do I know? So about that one. Now, whether it's a scare thing, whether it's however it comes about, that if that came about, people here, dengue, yes, that is an awful viral illness. Viral. It is viral, so we're going to go through that. I'm going to say what I can. You know, my thing is always preventive care and strengthen your immune system, know the symptoms, preventive care. And I know those are no-nos on here, but you know, I got to do what I can. I will say I've talked about these many times, and this is another thing where I say, okay, don't freak out, have things on hand, know how to use it, things like that. And I am big on two of the first two I'm going to go over are good for preventive and treatment is the monolaurin. I've talked about so much monolaurin. I do not go without it. I had severe Lyme disease and co-infections so many years ago. It was horrific, and that's something I stay on because I'm always going to be in the woods and doing things, and you know, there's always that potential of getting tick bites, and but it's not just from ticks, it's biting flies. It's a lot of different things you can get that from. Same thing, it's a viral load. Monolaurin, if you haven't seen it, I have a monolaurin video. Go read on it, up on it, go watch the video. But you know, of course, these are things I would do. I want all you to follow your doctor's instructions, but you know, be safe, read my disclaimer. And then colloidal silver, that's another one, big one I recommend. I've talked about the generator. You do what's best for you. As far as buying the generator, yes, it's an out-of-pocket, bigger expense at first, but it will more than pay for itself if that's the way you choose to go. Now, of course, you do things safely with colloidal silver, especially making your own. There are, you know, and never abuse taking that on the amount you take. And there's safety precautions with anything. There's different things like neem leaves, papaya leaves. There's different things like that. But those first two would be my absolute go-to. If you have something like dengue fever, you need to avoid and cut out all sweets or fine sugar sweets. Absolutely. You need to get your inflammation out. You got to worry about the fever type things. I don't know how much, I really don't have, you know, maybe I'll put something over on Rumble to go in a greater detail, but that is a angle I feel like they're trying to do for fear, to do the thing with the rising temperatures. You know what angle they're working on that, or they are going, it's another move in what we know their agenda is, and they're releasing those things out. I mean, I'm in Florida, so we know about mosquitoes, and that's part of the thing. And of course, that was one of the top ones they put on there about things. And no, I'm not panicked or freaked out about that. I just don't. But will I have things on hand just in case something like that does come to pass and they're not just, you know, blowing smoke? Of course I will. We do that. We always prepare for those things. Have it on hand, know how to use it all the time. And then we may never need it, and that's great. But even these other ones can use it for so many other things. And that's those two, monolaurin, colloidal silver. I absolutely, whether it's this viral illness or many other things I've talked about, those are staples I think everyone should have in their preps, you know, regardless. Now, of course, if you're allergic to something like coconut oil, you know, anything like that, well, then you probably shouldn't use monolaurin. You know, be safe. So something I want to leave with you guys. Remember the nonsense. It's rolling out like crazy. I think North Korea is up on their mess again. Doesn't surprise me. They do the overloading. We've talked about this so many times on lives and everything. The overwhelming. It just seems like tons and tons of things. And then sometimes we have that kind of quiet before the storm. You know, we're expecting all this. Don't freak out. Again, I have people ask and start getting nervous because people get bogged down, and it wears on them. That is the reason they do a lot of these things nonstop. Filter through things. You know, knowledge is power. If you are knowledgeable about anything, it doesn't seem you don't have to be as fearful about it, and you don't react the same way. And that's why I say to look at any different things like this is what you do, and that's what we prepare for. So it's something I want to leave with you guys. Of course, if you have more questions, you can email me. I never mind that. But besides that, everyone stay well, God bless, and have